hope you can all hear me. I seem to be getting levels going up and down on the screen. So, I've got volume coming out of it, every speaker in this room. So, hello, and thank you for joining me here on LLTV. Izzy Wizzy, Let's Get Quizzy, The Return. I'm in lockdown, I'm all on my own, got nothing else to do but quizzes. So I have composed a fantastic family quiz this week. So some of the questions, some of you might find a little bit easy. There's some hard ones in there as well. I've got no picture puzzles on this occasion because I'm sort of like just testing it. Now, I'd love it if you can all interact with me here in the studio, the Literate Lifestyle studio behind me. And you can do that if you are signed into YouTube. There is a live chat option, and I'll show you here on my iPad. In the bottom right hand corner, you can see there's the live chat. You need to be signed into YouTube to be able to talk to me, and then you can send me some messages. And for those of you that have got hold of my mobile phone number, of course you can interact with me on there, but I won't be looking at it very much because I'm concentrating on what's going on the quiz. So what you need is a pen and a piece of paper. If you are in a household that has more than one person in it, then you can play against the other people in the household. There's 40 questions, so 4 rounds. We'll take breaks in between, and at the end I'll read all the questions and the answers out. If you do miss any questions, don't panic. What I'll do is I'll pop that on a link for you to download so you can go through, because the sort of internet might break up. Now I've got some messages coming. Georgia! Hello Georgia, how are you? Chris, Michelle are tuned in, so big shout out to you. Where's the cat? I want pictures of Chris cuddling the cat. Send that over. Bless them, they've just got this cat at the moment. This cat can't go outside, and Chris pretends he's not really fond of the cat, but we know secretly he is. So do interact with me in the chat box just there. It should take around about an hour to get through this. If you're playing on your own, no cheating, okay? You're playing against yourself. And at the end, you can all put your scores on the board and we can find out what you got. Now, I think Joe is joining me in the house, but he hasn't worked out how to use YouTube yet. So Joe, if you are watching, can you just send me a quick link and say hello? We've got Inigo watching at the moment, all the way from Madrid. Hello, how are you, babes? They're on lockdown over there too, worse than over here, can I just say. So Inigo, you just joined us, you need a pen and a piece of paper, and there's 40 questions. Okay, so let's begin with round 1. So if you all should have your piece of paper ready. And the first question, nice and easy for you, nice and easy. It is, which TV comedy show was set in a paper company in Slough? So I will repeat. Which TV comedy show was set in a paper company in Slough? I used to call it Slough, actually. I've never actually been there. Anyway, cheers. Have you all got the bevies on the go? We've got Ninny27 who's watching. Hello to you. And, we've got the Kardashians watching in Harpenden. Hello, the Kardashians. Oh, Kardashians. The Sunfacer family. They're watching. Dunkin' Donuts. Give me a wave. So how many people are you playing against there, Duncan? I believe earlier it was going to be 2 or 2. I think it could have extended the family. Right, so number 1, which TV comedy show was set in a paper company in Slough? Number 2, on whose books does Not to be Read After Dark appear on the back? On whose books does Not to be Read After Dark appear on the back? What do you reckon that one is? We got Javier in the house. Javier Rodriguez. Hello. How are you, guys? Another viewer in Milan. You're not supposed to put the answers on the screen, Indigo. You're supposed to be writing them down, dear. Okay? You're playing against people in your house. Hello, Javier. Javier is a dancer, by the way, and fabulous dancer. And to exercise at the moment, he's got a pole in the window, which he's using because he can't go out and dance. That's what I've got. We've got little Chris is in the house. He's just sent me a message. Hello, little Chris in Southgate. Nice to have you here. Inigo says, can I spell slough? That is how you spell slough, by the way. Okay, number 3. Which imaginary line runs across the centre of the earth? So which imaginary line runs across the centre of the earth? I've been across this actually once on a cruise ship, and we had this sort of like whole thing on board, and I can't remember what we had to do, to be perfectly honest. I think it's either going underneath one of those sticks where you have to do this sort of like the limbo thing. Yeah. Indigo's going, go-go dancers. What are you talking about? Oh yes, that's what you're doing. You're a go-go dancer. Indigo and Javier are go-go dancing in Milan. This conversation is really bizarre. We've got Tina watching in Dublin. Hello, how are you, babes? Hope you're well. Okay, so number 4. Which medical drama was set at Mill Health Centre? So, which medical drama was set at Mill Health Centre? What do you reckon the answer is to that? I think I know what it is. I had a friend in that actually a while back. But I can't tell you too much because then you'll get the answer. I believe Jane is watching in Sheffield as well. She sent me in a message to say hi. She wants to know how to get involved in the chat. If you have just joined me here, you need to. Well, what you need to do is you need to sign into YouTube. It's a little bit like Facebook Live. Sign into YouTube, and then you can interact with the live chat. So and you can say hi, and you can give people clues. Inigo, Milan, what are you talking about? Oh, I thought you were in Madrid. Anyway, Inigo is watching in Madrid. He's, I think, the furthest away. We've got Tina in Dublin who's watching. We've got Javier who's watching in Madrid as well. And we've got Chris, Michelle and the Doyleys all down there in Chislehurst. Okay, so 5. Fisherman's ... What is a popular tourist area in San Francisco? So Fisherman's ... What is a popular tourist area in San Francisco? I remember going down to this particular area actually, and there's very famous, you can actually Google this. There's a man that he gets a load of like bushes, big branches of trees, and he hides behind them on the pavement down there. So I was walking along, minding my own business as you do, and all of a sudden he just jumped out from behind this sort of bush that he was holding. You've never heard me scream so loud. Absolutely. So what have we got now? Oh, Inigo, I apparently said Milan. Sorry. Oh, you're my international support group. Oh, bless you. All the way over there. I bet you're getting nice weather now. Right, who's texted me? Big Al has texted me as well. I believe they're watching in Stopsley in Luton. So hello to the Lathwells. How are you all to the Lathwells? Have you worked out how to get involved and interact with me on that chat bot just there? It's great having you in the room. Is Christine playing? Let me know. Okay, moving on. Number 6. In computing, what 2 numbers can a bit represent? So in computing, what 2 numbers can a bit represent? Oh, I've got little Chris watching. Christina, Catherine and Holly are playing as well. Deb is watching as well at the Well pub. And the Well is actually one of the places that I actually used to do the quiz. In fact, Izzy Wizzy Quizzy started in the West End, and it actually went to be an online quiz back in 1998, so back in the day. We didn't really get much call for the online quiz back in those days, but now I think because of lockdown, people are looking for more innovative ways of being entertained. So number 6, in computing, what 2 numbers can a bit represent? Number 7. Homer Simpson once climbed Springfield's highest mountain. What is the mountain called? So Homer Simpson once climbed Springfield's highest mountain. What is it called? Eva the Diva is in the house. Hi Eva the Diva, how are you, babes? She's just watching. She's not playing, apparently. But no giving everybody the answers, Eva the Diva. She is secretly a little bit of a brain box. So if you talk nicely to her in the chat, I'm sure she'll give you a few clues, if you know what I mean. Who else have we got there? We've still got Debs and a few other people in there. There's a bit of a delay going on here. I can see myself on 4 different screens. Okay, so number 8. From which country did the film character Borat come? So from which country did the film character Borat come? Cheers. Have you all got your drinks in, by the way? Bonus point, what am I drinking? What do you reckon it is? Actually, I did have all this lockdown thing has actually been, I've been climbing the walls a bit, but I have managed to get quite a lot done. I've written a book. Well, actually, no, I've just edited a book that I'd already written. I've done the windows of my house, stuff that I would never normally have done. Last week, I had a 3.5 hour chat with a friend of mine on the computer. We got through about 3.5 bottles of wine as well. We did a little bit of a pub crawl, so we went from different rooms in the house. It was quite good fun, actually. It was very good. Right, number 9. What type of animal was Dolly, the UK's first cloned mammal? So, what type of animal was Dolly, the UK's first cloned mammal? Oh, Georgia says she's got a drink. Normally, if Georgia's drinking, it's a cocktail. What sort of cocktail is it, Georgia? Cheers, darling. What's some face of production says NZ Cab Sav? Oh yes, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, darling, not the Cabinet Sauvignon. Mm. Cheers. Oh, Debbie got it as well. She said the Sauvignon Blanc. Debbie, you keep that wine there for me. I'll be coming down for some if I run out. Okay, last question in round 1. Okay, in which sport might you see a beamer? So, in which sport might you see a beamer? Okay, so anybody want me to read any of those questions out again? Just put them on the screen. Which number you want me to repeat? I've got to say hello to Gary, who's watching Jane's dad. Hello, Gary. How are you up there in sunny Sheffield? How the devil are you? And I've got to say hello to Jane, Duncan. We've got another Duncan in the house. The lovely Jessica and Jack, who are watching as well up there in Sheffield. Thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, who else? Oh, so Georgia says, just a bit, cocktails are saved for Friday. Inigo's drinking Red Rioja wine, and Eva is drinking Pinot Grigio. So cheers, everybody. Right, we're going to take a 2-minute break. And in that break, what I'm going to do, because Duncan messaged me, Duncan from Some Face of Production messaged me. He's been actually been quite active on social media over the last week. Haven't you, Duncan? And he's written a song, and it's about staying locked in. And it's quite good, actually. So I just want to share it with you. I'll be back right after this song, so it takes about 2 minutes. And if you want a copy of it, Duncan, can you put in the chat box where they can view it, please, if they're in their own time? I've got to find it now. Here we go. Right, I'm going to play it now for you. Here we go. I think this is right. Oh, sorry. I had it on mute. That was a little bit of improvement. I just wanted to make sure that that you were all paying attention. So let me start that bit again. Al says, could I repeat question 10 in round one? So that is, in which sport might you see a beamer? So that was round one, question 10. We're just about to kick off with round two. I've got to say a big shout out to little Kyle and AD who are watching live in Dublin, just drinking their milk, ready to go to bed. So big shout out to you two. And I've got to say another hello to Kyle O'Loughlin. Did I say that right? Who is watching in New York, part of the O'Loughlin clan. So big shout out to you. I think New York actually is further away than Madrid. So Inigo, you're picked to the post there. Okay, round two, question one. How? By the way, how did you all get on in round one? Did you get on okay? Did you? Good. Well, that's what I like to see. Round two, question one. Joe Beck is the hero of which novel by Kevin Brooks? So Joe Beck is the hero of which novel by Kevin Brooks? I take it you can all hear me now, can't you? Because some people have said we can't hear you. So just give me a heads up if you can hear me. Just put a little message in there. Hello, how are you? Cheers. I'm just testing my sound. Yes, I'm on there. Right, number two, UNESCO, UNESCO, stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific and what organisation? So UNESCO stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific and what organisation? What do you reckon that is? How dare you? Inigo's put, for the foreigners in this chat room, we can't understand your Luton accent. It's not a Luton accent, it's more like a North London accent. Acme Inc. says, hi Richie and Duncan. Tell from New Zealand here. Hello, how are you? I think New Zealand is now beating New York in terms of distance. So big shout out to you there, Acme Inc. And Georgia says you can hear me. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you can. How are you doing, by the way, on the quiz over there in Chislehurst? Are you doing all right? And how are you doing over there in Stopsley, Alfredor? Are you doing all right? Okay, number three. What type of girl was the subject of a 2006 hit single by Primal Scream? So what type of girl was the subject of a 2006 hit single by Primal Scream? What do you reckon that is? Write it down, write it down. By the way, have you got some good quiz names? If you've got some good quiz names, share them with me. Put them on the live chat. Want to hear what you've got, some of the innovative quiz names that you've actually got. So what type of girl was the subject of a 2006 hit single by Primal Scream? Okay, number four. Which film featured a young girl created by Rod Dahl who could move objects with her mind? What film was it? So, which film featured a young girl created by Rod Dahl who could move objects with her mind? I've got to say hi to Sally and her daughter Maddie. Jane is pinging me in the house as well. So big shout out to Sally. Sally actually just celebrated her 50th or 60? 50th birthday. 50th birthday actually the other week. Happy birthday to you, Sally. And she's just moved house as well. And it's been an absolute nightmare for her. What with the lockdown and with service providers just dropping out at the last minute and no help whatsoever. She was left to actually move a house by herself. So big round of applause to you, Sally. You did very well. And there's a drink in it for you as well when I see you. So cheers, darling. Happy 50th. May you live another 50 years as well. Possibly longer. Oh. That's nice. Right, okay, where am I? Number five. Which essential gas makes up 21% of our air? So, which essential gas makes up 21% of our air? Joseph O'Loughlin says hello from Brixton. Hello, how are you, Joseph? Josephine O'Loughlin in Brixton. Mind you, when Joe comes up here too, oh my God, he does not fart. I think he does make up 21% of the air when he comes up here to see me. So which essential gas makes up 21% of our air? Number 6. Coming on to that in just a second. Oh, Joseph, you're a little bit too late, darling. We've got the sound back. I had the mute button on. So Duncan says it's too early for wine for tell in New Zealand, but they're drinking over in Harpenden. Lovely. Number 6. Which precious stone is the hardest known thing? So which precious stone is the hardest known thing? So message to Debs and Phil, who are watching at the Well in Luton, one of my locals, actually very good pub, I must say, and they've got a whole pub there full of alcohol and no one to drink it apart from themselves. I mean, what would you do? It's going to go out of date. You've got to drink it, haven't you? So big shout out to you. Acme Inc says, trying to get over a hangover at the moment. Where were you last night, you dirty stop out? Okay. Number 7. Which American TV sitcom saw Michael Bluth, B-L-U-T-H, run family affairs after his dad was jailed? So which American TV sitcom saw Michael Bluth run family affairs after his dad was jailed? What do you reckon that is? Write it down. Write it down. So we still got the Spanish in, watching, over in Madrid. Not Milan, Madrid. I'll get told off for that. Believe me, after I finish this, I'll get grief by text. By the way, this is the LLTV studios here. It's the first time I've kind of really used it for a live Izzy Wizzy Quizzy. I should going to use it a bit more often, actually, I think. So number 8, a 2004 number 1 for Girls Aloud was entitled I'll ... What? So a 2004 number 1 for Girls Aloud was entitled I'll ... What? What do you reckon that is? Big fan of Girls Aloud, actually. Are they doing a comeback? I don't know. Maybe Georgia will know down there. Georgia seems to know everything. She's like an oracle down there. It must be something to do with being at South London. Everyone seems to be very brainy down there. Inigo's watching and drinking at the same time. What are you drinking, Inigo? I thought you were watching your you're on a detox, doing your yoga and everything. So what are you drinking? Are you joining me in one of these? Cheers, darlings. Cheers. Ooh. Beautiful. And I'm going to need to top that up as well in the next break, I think. Okay, number 9. In tennis, what is an unreturned serve known as? So in tennis, what is an unreturned serve known as? Is there going to be any Wimbledon this year? It's like that's cancelled as well, isn't it? Or postponed. Everything's going. This is such a mess. It's such a mess. Inigo says he's drinking Rioja. Oh, how lovely. Very nice. Very civilised. And Georgia says, I am like an oracle, thank you. You're welcome, my dear. It's great having this interactive chat just here. By the way, if I can ask you just to click on that subscribe button underneath the Literal Lifestyles, that'd be fantastic. You're doing me a big favour. Number 10. Which large muscle connects our... Hang on. Which large muscle connects our chest with our arms? So our chest with our arms. What is the large muscle called? Okay, does anybody want me to repeat any of those questions in round 2? If you do, just put it on the screen. Inigo says, your pronunciation just made me spit into my wino. Oh, did it? The Rioja or the Rioja? How do you say it in Spanish? Is it Rioja or Rioja? Chris, how do you say it, darling? Chris will know. Tina says she's got 6 right that she reckons, but she reckons that she's in the lead. Oh, she's in the lead in her house. As little Carl and little Adi are watching while they have their milk. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of minutes break so I can top my wine up, and I will be back in two shades of, or two shakes of a lamb's tail. I think that's how you say it anyway. So I'm just going to put like a little holding slide on for now, and I shall be back in just a moment. Hi, hi, hi. Hope you're all well. Have you all got your drinks all topped up? I had to bring the bottle up. I tell you, all these lock-ins, we're allowed one bit of exercise a day, so I kind of run round the park in the morning. So I'm trying to get up in the morning, get enough energy to run round the park a couple of times before anybody gets in there. And then I come back, but I feel so unfit at the moment. Just walking up the steps, I'm like, oh. Do you know what I mean? After this this quarantine and social distancing, I think I'm going to end up to be the size of a house, I reckon. Do you know what I mean? How are you doing over there in Madrid, Inigo and Javier? Because you've been doing it an extra 3 weeks longer than we have. Are you finding that you're putting on weight? How's it going over there? Let me know. Okay, so we're now on round 3. So if anybody wants me to repeat any of those questions in round 2, be quick, let me know, and I will try and fill in those gaps for you. And if you do miss any, and we're towards the end of the quiz, I will put a link up with all the questions so you can go back and you can read them to your heart's content. So round 3, question 1. In which country was author Anthony Horowitz born? So, in which country was author Anthony Horowitz born? So, what do you reckon the answer is there? So, that's round 3, question 1. So, Inigo says, over in Madrid, wine is still available in supermarkets and we wash out bums with wet towels. That's so nice to hear that, actually. You're such a civilised person you are, Inigo. How are the Sheffield people getting on up there? We've got Jane, we've got Sally, we've got Duncan, we've got Gary, we've got Jean, we've got the lovely Jessica, and we've got Jack watching in Sheffield. Number 2 is uranium is an important material in which type of power generation? So uranium is an important material in which type of power generation? What do you reckon that is? Write it down, write it down. Now Joseph has texted me. He's watching in South London at Brixton. And he says that this is about 7 minutes behind, so it's a bit of a slow connection. What are you using down there, Joe? Is it dial-up? So he's a little bit behind on this. Apparently it's like I did ring him during the break to see if he'd managed to get online, and he said he was still halfway through round 2. slow internet connection. So Duncan says, how you doing, Chris and Michelle, and Georgia, and the cat who's watching. I bet Chris is actually sitting there with, because they've got a new cat. But Chris is pretending he doesn't like it and he doesn't want anything to do with it. But we know when the humans have gone out of the room and it's just the cat and Chris. Chris is like this. Mrs. Slocum. Number 3 in the book by Judith Kerr. I'll spell it for you. Kerr. What type of big cat came to tea? So in the book by Judith Kerr, what type of big cat came to tea? Oh, Duncan's he's just spilt my bloody wine. Hang on. No swearing, Duncan. There's kids in the room. That was very naughty of me. Sorry, Tina. Who else have we got watching at the moment? Georgia says Chris loves Major Tom. He talks to him all the time. Major Tom is the cat. Okay, so number 4. Rio Grande is Spanish for what? Now, Inigo, Javier, you should both get that one. Rio Grande is Spanish for what? I'll say it in English. Rio Grande is Spanish for what? What do you reckon that is? Da, 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 da. Okay, who else have we got watching now? Quite a few people. Has Jane managed to work out how to subscribe to YouTube yet? Because she's been pinging me on my messages. Let's see what she's put here. Oh, she sends her love. Oh, Inigo says, I still can't understand the Benidorm accent. I haven't got a Benidorm accent, dear, have I? Okay, number 5. Which politician made a hug a hoodie speech in 2006? So which politician made a hug a hoodie speech in 2006? What do you reckon that is? What do you reckon? Hug a hoodie. It's like a bit of a tongue twister there, isn't it? So what else have I been doing in my days? And what else have you been doing in your days to keep you occupied? It's lockdown time. I actually got to look out my window here and I'm actually quite surprised at the amount of people still out and about. People still going around like nothing's changed, in groups. Still going to the park in groups, meeting up, etc, etc, and it's like, whoa, are you completely out of your head? Do you know what's going on? It just drives me absolutely up the wall. It's like, why are you doing this? I saw today on the news that in Portugal they've introduced these robots, and police are bringing these robots in to actually go along the street and tell people off. And then they've got drones in Spain as well, which I think is brilliant. They used them in the Peak District, but we got slated for it. Okay, moving on. Number 6. What G for golf, is an Italian city and seaport associated with a type of cake? Now, Inigo, you should know that. You do like your cake. What G is an Italian city and seaport associated with a type of cake? Now we've got Acme Inc., who's renovating a granny flat at the moment, and I'm the granny. So Granny is actually doing a bit of renovation work to keep her occupied on these lock-in days. So big shout out to Acme Inc. Acme Inc. It sounds like something out of Roadrunner, doesn't it? Do you remember beep 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 beep? And it used to always have like the dynamite with Acme Inc. on the side and all that. Maybe I'm showing my age, which, by the way, just so you know, is late 30s. So what are you doing in your granny flat? What are you putting in? Are you just painting it, or are you doing a bit of building work? Let us know. Maybe send some pictures in, so the next quiz I can actually put you on the big screen, because I have got that option. I can put you on the big screen in here, because I could do that with Duncan's video as well. Right, so number 6 was, what G is an Italian city and seaport associated with the type of cake? And number 7, to which European country are the Channel Islands nearest? So number 7 is, to which European country are the Channel Islands nearest? So have you been to the Channel Islands? I remember going when I was a child. Parents took us over to Guernsey. And what did we do when we were in Guernsey? I remember this now. It's very clear. We went to the Tomato Museum. That's what you do. You go to a tomato museum. Have we got anyone watching in the Channel Islands? Let me know. By the way, if the connection does drop out at all, don't panic. I will be back. It's just because we are a little bit... what we use in internet, and everyone on this street is probably using the same amount of stuff all at the same time, so it might buffer a little bit. Apologies for that. I'll try and keep up as much as I can. Okay, number 8. What is the name given to someone who does not eat any animal products? So what is the name given to someone who does not eat any animal products? What's that? Oh, it seems to have got a little bit of a dropout here going on. So I should be back in just a moment. We'll just wait for that to catch up. Hopefully it picks up very, very soon. And number 9. What U is another name for Ayers Rock? What U is another name for Ayers Rock? U for umbrella. Something's going on here. What's going on? Oh, it's still live. And number 10. How did Larry keep the T-Rex happy in the film Night at the Museum? So how did Larry keep the T-Rex happy in the film Night at the Museum? Right, we'll take a short break while it catches up. Apologies if you've missed any of the last bit of round 3. I will repeat it after the short break. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. Okay, we had a little bit of a technical glitch and I lost internet connection. So I've lost all my chatter with everybody. So I have had messages come in, emails coming in and the salt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to override the YouTube video that we've already got on there. Of the live video, and I'll put this pre-recorded one with the ending, which I'm pre-recording now. So we're now on round 3 again. We're still on it. Question 10. How did Larry keep the T-Rex happy in the film Night at the Museum? How did Larry keep the T-Rex happy in the film Night at the Museum? Now, in all this excitement, I don't know what's going on with this like lockdown at the moment. The internet company seems to be messing me around. I don't know what's going on. It's driving me nuts. But everyone on the street seems to be wanting to use the internet at the same time. How dare they? Do they not know that I'm doing a live quiz? It's outrageous. Anyway, we'll move straight on without further ado to round 4. Question 1. What is the name of New York's main theatre street, darling? What is the name of New York's main theatre street? I've been there a few times actually, New York. In fact, I could say 30, 29 or 30 times on the Queen Mary. Inigo, how many times have you been, darling? You must have been about 60. Oh, on the transatlantic, on the Queen Mary 2, you backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. In fact, Eva is watching as well. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. New York, Southampton, New York, Southampton. It's 7 days at sea. Oh, it drives you nuts. And then when you get to the other side, of course, you think, oh, I'll go shopping. No, 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 no. You've got to welcome the new guests on board. It's hell. So what is the name of New York's main theatre street? Oh, my hair looks a mess on this, okay. That's better. Right, okay. Number 2. What would you have on your feet in a biathlon? So, what would you have on your feet in a biathlon? Actually, it reminds me of Duncan running the other day because he's bless him. The Curtis family have all been in quarantine for 7 days. They haven't left the house, and as soon as the 7 days is up, I mean, Duncan was chomping at the bit. He's ringing me. He's going, "I've got to go out. I've got to go out. I've got to go for a run. I'm going crazy." So he's doing a live video as he's running like this. He's got the video in front of him and he's jogging, and I'm going. All I can hear is clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. It's like he's running in heels. Apparently, he's running in platforms. So, what would you have on your feet in a biathlon? And I never did get to hear about what you're doing with your granny flat in New Zealand. So I do want to know. Please do share in the comments below. I know we probably aren't live now, but it would be great to hear from you. Number 3. In which game do you have to get 4 yellow and red counters in a row? So in which game do you have to get 4 yellow and red counters in a row? It's one of my favourite games, actually. Number 4, in Jack and the Beanstalk, what did Jack sell to get the magic beans? No, it wasn't his body. Honestly, some people... Joseph, keep it clean, darling. In Jack and the Beanstalk, what did Jack sell to get the magic beans? I was actually in Jack and the Beanstalk, actually. I remember this. I was in Panto. I think I was in Scouts. It's going back a while. And I played the back end of this, and I loved it. But I mean, why? Now I'd be like, excuse me, I want the front end. So what did Jack sell to get the magic beans? Number 5, named after a famous duke. Where is the city of Wellington? So, named after a famous duke, where is the city of Wellington? I've never been there, to be perfectly honest. Bit too far for me. I've got to do it. I've given that away, haven't I? I'm sure. I've got to do it though. I've got to go. There's parts of the world I've got to see. When all this crap is over, let's hope things get back to normality quickly. Number 6. Which sportsman might use a pitching wedge? So which sportsman might use a pitching wedge? I'd like to use one of those right now on the internet provider. So which sportsman might use a pitching wedge? Number 7. In which film did James Bond stop Le Chiffre winning a poker tournament? So in which film did James Bond stop Le Chiffre winning a poker tournament? Is it Le Chiffre? I think that's how you say it, Le Chiffre. I love James Bond. Which James Bond was your favourite? You've got Roger, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, and Daniel Craig, to name a few. Who is your favourite Bond? I've got to say mine has got to be, I like Roger Moore, but I really did like Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Morgan. I don't think so. No way! I couldn't see Piers Morgan ever doing a James Bond. Wasn't there talks as well about Idris Elba doing James Bond? I think he'd be fantastic. He's so charismatic. Well, with a little tie and all that. Or maybe they need a camp James Bond. Do you know what I mean? I can do the gun thing. You know what I mean? Bit of a pout. Okay, so moving on. I'm digressing. Number 8. In which event are runners required to jump over 5 barriers per lap? So in which event are runners required to jump over 5 barriers per lap? Number 9. What sea is the fantasy world featured in the Insanity Saga? So what sea is the fantasy world featured in Insanity Saga? I digress here. Insanity. I've just got that Insanity workout. A friend of mine bought it and dropped it through the letterbox. I put the DVD in. Well, I tell you, 5 minutes and that was it. Off, out, no way. It nearly killed me. It's so fast. It's good, but it's fast. And I've got these lights that dangle from the ceiling, like chandelier things. I kept banging them and everything. That's going to do damage to my house. So yeah, no to the insanity workout. And in fact, I can remember I was on the cruise ships, working on the cruise ships with Inigo, and we did the insanity workout. And I remember I lasted about 15 minutes because I was fitter in those days. Inigo, I think, dropped after about the first two. It's quite funny, but yeah, it's hard. It's a hard workout. So we're on the last round now. We're now on the last question. What is the name of the baby in the TV series Family Guy? So what is the name of the baby in the TV series Family Guy? Right, so if there's any questions you want repeating, I'm going to put the questions in a link at the bottom of the screen so you can have access to that. And you can go over that and pause the video now because we're going to go straight through the answers. Starting with round one, question one. Where did you think I was going to start? Which TV comedy show was set in a paper company in Slough? It's The Office. Number two, on whose books does Not to be Read After Dark appear on the back? It's Joseph Delaney's. Number three, which imaginary line runs across the centre of the Earth? It's Equator. Number four, which medical drama was set at Mill Health Centre? Doctors. My friend Elizabeth Bower was in that as well. Just a little bit of a shout out there. Hi Liz, if you're watching. Number four, which medical drama was set at Mill Health Centre? No, I've done that one. Number five, Fisherman's ... What is a popular tourist area in San Francisco? It's Fisherman's Wharf. 6, in computing, what two numbers can a bit represent? What did you put? 0 to 1 is the answer I was looking for. Number 7, Homer Simpson once climbed Springfield's highest mountain. What is the mountain called? It's Murderhorn. Number 8, from which country did the film character Borat come? The answer I was looking for was Kazakhstan. Number 9, which type of animal was Dolly, the UK's first cloned mammal? It was a sheep. Meh. Number 10, in which sport might you see a beamer? And the answer I was looking for there is cricket. Okay, round 2. Question 1. Joe Beck is the hero of which novel by Kevin Brooks? The answer I was looking for was Candy. Number 2, UNESCO stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific and what organisation? It's cultural. Number 3, what type of girl was the subject of the 2000s hit single by Primal Scream? It was Country Girl. Number 4, which film featured a young girl created by Rod Dahl who could move objects with her mind? It was Matilda. Number 5, which essential gas makes up 21% of air? It's oxygen. Number 6, which precious stone is the hardest known thing? It's diamond, one of my favourite things. Number 7, American TV sitcom saw Michael Bluth run family affairs after his dad was jailed. It was Arrested Development. I remember working on a junket with that, actually. Number 8, a 2004 number 1 for Girls Aloud was entitled I'll ... what? I'll Stand By You was the answer I was looking for. And number 9, in tennis, what is an unreturned serve known as? It's an ace. And last one in round 2, question 10, which large muscle connects the chest with our arms? It's the pectoralis. Okay, round 3, question 1, in which country was author Anthony Horowitz born? It was England. Number 2, uranium is an important material in which type of power generation? It's nuclear. Number 3, in the book by Judith Kerr, what type of big cat came to tea? It was a tiger. Number 4, Rio Grande is Spanish for what? It's big river. Number 5, which politician made a hug a hoodie speech in 2006? It's David Cameron. Number 6, which G is an Italian city and seaport associated with a type of cake? It's Genoa. Number 7, to which European city are the Channel Islands nearest? It's France. Number 8, what is the name given to someone who does not eat any animal products? It's a vegan. Number 9, what U is another name for Ayers Rock? It's Uluru. And number 10, how did Larry keep the T-Rex happy in the film Night at the Museum? I love the T-Rex in this. He threw a bone. So that's round 3, and now the last round, round 4. What is the name, for number 1, what is the name of New York's main theatre street? It's Broadway. Number 2, what would you have on your feet in a biathlon? It's skis. Number 3, in which game do you have to get 4 yellow or red counters in a row? It's Connect 4, one of my favourite board games. Number 4, in Jack and the Beanstalk, what did Jack sell to get the magic beans? It was a cow. Number 5, named after the famous Duke, where is the city of Wellington? It's New Zealand. And I do like their wine, actually. It just reminds me, I'll have a quick sip of it now before it gets too warm. Number 6, which sportsman might use a pitching wedge? It was a golfer. Number 7, in which film did James Bond stop Le Chiffre winning a poker tournament? It was Casino Royale. Number 8, in which event are runners required to jump over 5 barriers per lap? It's a steeplechase. Number 9, what sea is a fantasy world featured in the Insanity Saga? It's Calespia. And number 10, what is the name of the baby in the TV series Family Guy? It's Stewie. Add them all up, write it all down. And do share your answers with me as well. What did you get if you're playing against yourselves at home? Whoever got the most wins. Whoever got the least loses, I'm afraid. If you're playing at home on your own, and you're in lockdown on your own, then no cheating. Do share your answers at the bottom of the screen. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been eventful. Apologies that we lost our internet connection halfway through, and thank you for everyone who interacted with the quiz tonight. Please, if you are watching, do click on that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. It's just down on the other side, actually, just down there. If you click on that, okay, and next time I do a quiz, you'll get a notification to your inbox to say that I'm going live. So we'll try and do these regularly, especially during this lockdown period, because I think we do need a little bit of a break away from the normality. So get some wines and everything else. And hopefully the internet connection will be much better, because I'm going to have serious words with them. Serious words. That's it. Do share your comments. Thanks very much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye.